What is up, guys? This is a podcast, so no visual distractions. Take a seat, rest your eyes, take me with you to work while you're aggravated, stuck in traffic, and just listen to my sweet, sweet voice ramble for the next 20 minutes about Bitcoin and precious metal. Mostly about Bitcoin, though. So this podcast has been a long time coming, actually. This subject matter has been a long time coming. For the past, 2 to 3 years at least, I've been getting a lot of questions, emails, comments about my 2 cents on Bitcoin or crypto. So I'm going to talk to you guys about it since you guys have been asking for it. And it just started all over again. So it stopped for a while, the questions and all that stuff. And now it's starting again, and it's because Bitcoin is back in the conversation, and the price of Bitcoin is coming back up. So people want to know. In a way, it's kind of weird because I've never really mentioned Bitcoin or cryptos in any of my videos, but I do give a lot of personal finance advice and investing advice. So I guess in a way, it does make sense why my subscribers will want to know my 2 cents on crypto. So before I start, those of you that are crypto savvy, remember I am not 100% savvy on this. As far as the investment side of it goes, I feel confident in what I have to say to you guys. But the technical side, I understand it. I understand how it works, and I'm going to try and explain it in a very, very, very simple way. So those of you that are very tech savvy and crypto savvy, don't beat me up too much. Remember, this is an educational channel, and the whole purpose of this podcast is to educate people on crypto. So, with that being said, please, guys, feel free to comment, add anything I missed. Try and keep it simple so people understand, people like me that aren't too tech savvy, and, get some debates going. These types of subjects spark up debate, and it's always, debates are always a good way to learn. So get it going in the comments. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about, now that that's all gone, and I know I'm going to get asked, so I just want to get it out of the way now, before I forget later on in the podcast, is where to buy it, because this is one of the biggest questions that I get asked is, where do you buy it? Where do you trade it? So I have a little bit of experience buying it and selling it. Nothing to write home about. No, I didn't make a ton of money or anything. And that's another thing I'll get into later. But so where to buy it? You could actually buy it through Cash App, which I don't really recommend because they take a percentage when you buy and they take a percentage when you sell. And then you also have Coinbase, which I do recommend. And I actually have a link that I'm going to put in the description. If you use that link and sign up and trade $100 worth of crypto, I get $10 and you get $10. So it'll be pretty cool if you guys use that, and I get $10. But you get $10 too. Anyways, it's Coinbase, and you could actually trade multiple different cryptos out of that app, and it's actually really easy to use too. So I would highly recommend Coinbase, especially if you're going to get involved in Litecoin or any of the other ones, other cryptos that are out there. Okay, so with that out of the way, now I'm going to start telling you guys a little bit about my experience and what I think about Bitcoin in general. So I'm going to start off with a story. So about 2 years ago, I had made a beginner guide for silver. Ended up going viral. It has over 220,000 views now. And that video was a perfect target for the crypto pumpers. And I'm not bashing them. We got our own in the precious metal community. We have our own pumpers that pump silver and gold. So any investment, whenever there's money to be invested, there's always going to be pumpers. So they found that video of mine, and they were pumping cryptos. And they were trying to convince people, since it was a beginner's guide for silver to not invest in silver and precious metal, to instead put their money into crypto. All right? And I just want you guys to know, never buy anything based on emotion. So what they were trying to do is get you all hyped up, get your emotions all crazy, and if you had $1,000 you were going to put into silver, instead put it into crypto, right? Supply and demand, that's how most of anything works as far as price goes. So the more money in something, the price, it drives the price, the value of it, right? So that's what they were trying to do, trying to pull your investment money out of somewhere else and put it where they are investing their money. The thing is, around the time they were doing this, Bitcoin was on its way up to its high, its all-time high actually, and that was back in December 2017 when it was on its way to $18,000 for one Bitcoin. Then all of a sudden it hit that 18,000 and it completely collapsed. All right? Exactly 1 year later, from its 52 to its all-time high, exactly 1 year later it hit its all-time low at like 3,100 back in December of 2018. So a lot of people lost some money. A lot of people made money, a lot of people lost money, just like anything else. But the thing is, nobody has commented on that video about cryptos forever. It's been a while now. All of a sudden, I'm starting to get them again. And this is partly why, another reason why I'm doing this podcast. And that's because, like I said, the price of Bitcoin is coming back up. Now all of a sudden we have these retailers, a lot more retailers getting involved in Bitcoin, accepting Bitcoin. And I get it. All I'm trying to say is, the best advice that I could possibly give you throughout probably this whole podcast is, and I'm sure it's not the first time you heard it, it definitely won't be the last time you hear it either, never buy anything based on your emotions. So they're trying to get your emotions high, and they try and make you buy. Whenever, the way I do it, I mess around with stocks too. So an example, I had invested in Snapchat, and what I did was I was watching it for a while. I think at the time, Snapchat stock was undervalued. And what I did is I watched it for a long, long time. I mean, probably about a year, and that's a long time. And I got a feeling for what it was worth, right? So I saw the normal price for Snapchat stock was about $6. It would go up and down between 6, 7, 5, whatever. Just kind of keep doing that. And then some big news was coming, and that's how the stocks work. Big news is coming. They're doing a whole revamp, and they're going to have these games, and they're about to release their third quarter numbers and all this stuff. So what I did is I bought, and I took a little bit of a gamble, but I had an idea that at the time when I bought, that was the normal price of Snapchat. So it was a good, educated time to buy. And what ended up happening within literally a month is Snapchat went up to $12. And I ended up doubling my money because of the time I went in. Not necessarily about the knowledge that I had about Snapchat. It's just because I knew the normal price of Snapchat, and all this news that was coming in meant that it was a very good chance that the price would go up. So my recommendation to you, if you've never messed with crypto or Bitcoin, is watch it for a while. Right now, it's going up and up and up. I would suggest not to mess with it just yet. Let's see what it does over the next couple of months or so, because remember, it's coming up from one of its all-time lows, like $3,000, you know? So let's pay attention to it. There's no rush with anything, with any investment stocks, anything, gold and silver included. It's going to go up, it's going to come down. There's going to be other chances to get in on it. Don't let your emotions make you buy at the wrong time. I think one of the most important things with stocks or anything is getting in at the right time. So I think right now is not a good time to get in. Just wait it out. And this is not like gold and silver, guys. This could literally drop hundreds, if not thousands of dollars within a day. Okay, so this is not the slow and steady pace that we're normally used to with gold and silver. This is big money we're talking. So just pay attention to it. See what the normal price ends up being of Bitcoin, where it lingers for a long time, and that'll give you a good idea of when to get in on it. Another thing that I do like about Bitcoin is actually that you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. But like I said, when I was telling you where to buy, I bought like $200 worth, and it didn't really do much for me. You actually do need to put a decent amount of money for it to be worthwhile, which is also very scary considering it's super volatile, right? So keep that in mind. You need a decent amount of money. So I'm going to tell you guys what exactly Bitcoin is now, and then I'll get back into more investment stuff. But so basically Bitcoin, for those of you that don't know, and like I said, I'm going to simplify this the best I can, and I'm going to tell it in a way of a story. I think that's a good way. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it that way. So the first thing is, obviously, it's completely digital. Bitcoin is not physical whatsoever. It's global, which attracts a lot of people, the fact that it's accepted globally. It's decentralized, so there's no one bank that controls it. It's actually a bunch of people like me and you that have these computers that basically not control it, but track it, okay? And I'm sure if you've done a bunch of research on cryptos, you have seen the word blockchain. So what a blockchain is, and this is where I'm going to tell the story because this part is a little bit confusing. So blockchain is that ledger, okay, so those reports that track all the transactions of Bitcoin, and it is distributed between all that network, all those computers that are called the blockchain, and they all have the same information, whatever. So in order for someone to become part of this network or this blockchain, all right, so I'm going to tell you a story now. I go and buy a computer. I buy these parts that are needed. I don't know exactly what parts you need in order to become part of this blockchain network, right? So I want my computer to start tracking Bitcoin and become part of this network. And you're probably wondering why I would want that. Well, once you set up your computer to do this, they actually give you Bitcoin as a reward for doing it. And that's one thing, if anyone knows, because I am curious, do you get a full Bitcoin or do you get a portion of a Bitcoin for that? Do you keep accumulating Bitcoin? How does that part work? That part, I don't know. But whatever, regardless. So your computer becomes part of this ledger or this network of computers that tracks Bitcoin. It's basically how it is tracked, right? So it's normal people, no centralized bank, no one controls it. It's really just records, all right? In order to set up a computer to do this, this is called mining Bitcoin, by the way. I'm sure you've seen that term. And it is, from my understanding, extremely difficult and actually pretty expensive too. Not only that, it will drive your energy bill through the roof, from my understanding. So it's not something easy that everyone can do. It's not that easy to do. So yeah, if you want to get into that, you need to be pretty computer savvy. So basically, every time a new person comes in to do this and joins this network, they create a new Bitcoin. They're saying by 2040, there will be no more new Bitcoins made. All right? I don't know exactly how to take that, but for that reason, a lot of people are actually buying Bitcoin to hedge inflation. Okay? And a lot of the articles that I've read and a lot of articles that I've seen have been talking gold and Bitcoin hand in hand, and right now Bitcoin is popular, and I think this has a good amount of reason why gold is actually performing pretty well, is because it's going hand in hand with Bitcoin and a lot of these articles in mainstream media, and I think it's getting a lot of publicity, and I think people are doing a little bit of both to hedge inflation, especially with all these trade stuff going on, the trade wars and all that stuff. So people are looking for anything right now to invest in. So And I think that's why the gold price is being driven right now. And silver price is kind of just hanging around and kind of going down because silver is never being mentioned. It's always gold. Gold will always be the pinnacle of precious metal. So why do people want Bitcoin? Well, people that don't trust banks, because it's, like I said, it's decentralized. So no one has control. So people that don't trust banks, obviously investment people, and people that want to remain anonymous are the people that are buying this Bitcoin. Investors and people like that are the main ones that are buying it. And then you have to kind of think, a lot of people are kind of saying like, oh, it's so strange to me, and making it sound like it's really far-fetched, this Bitcoin. It's actually really exciting, but you need to look at it this way, all right? If you look over the past 20 years or so, how often do you actually handle cash anymore? Coins, paper money, even checks. Like, we don't handle our actual fiat currency anymore. It's all digital. I know for a fact, I go pay my mortgage, I go pay my light bill, I go pay my water bill, I log into my bank account. My money is a number on a screen. It's digitalized. I get an email. I don't even get paper bills anymore. I go into my email, 2 clicks, I just pay my water bill, I just pay my light bill, and that number on the screen, my bank account, goes down, and that's it. Completely digital. I didn't touch not $1 cash or anything. We're already a digital, this is like the new wave of digital currency, this crypto. The only thing that is scary, it's not really regulated, so it's a little scary. There's some things that are risky, and I think that's what's making it kind of volatile at the moment. But we could very well be looking at the next fiat currency, a globalized, accepted worldwide digital currency. It's exciting, and there's opportunity to make some money here. I'm telling you there is. But like I said, just keep an eye on it, and let's see what the prices do before you make a move. And it's funny because a long time ago, I'm talking like before the euro, I had read, like, it was kind of like a conspiracy theory article, but regardless, it's interesting now because this is, I don't know how long the euro's been around now, but whatever. So I was actually in Italy at the time that I read this, and it was talking about currency becoming globalized at some point, where there's only going to be one currency used globally. And it's funny because they mention how it's not going to happen all at once. It's going to happen little by little. And right around, like maybe like a year after I read that article, all of a sudden the lira is gone, and Europe starts using the euro. So and it's exactly what the article said, how it was going to happen. Like little by little, parts of the world were going to have this unified fiat currency around the world and whatever. And little by little, eventually it's going to become one currency. And now all of a sudden we have this crypto that's accepted globally, and it's its own decentralized currency. So it's like, it's actually feasible in some way. It's pretty crazy. So that's about it. There's a lot of scary things. It's all digital, so computers go down, your money, where is it? There's nothing like having the physical silver and gold. It's just that security. You actually have it physically. You wake up and it's in your safe. And don't buy into the hype. There's so much hype right now, especially now, because it's on that way up to that crazy price again, most likely. And just do your research and see what the normal price is, and then you make your decision. But it's very exciting. The whole thing is exciting, and I'm 100% for being diverse with your investments. So you want to mess with the cryptos? Absolutely. The silver is a long and slow game. The cryptos seems like it's going to be fast and quick. It's either big or, it's scary. It's very, very risky. So my personal opinion, I wouldn't take any money out of something that's pretty stable to put it into Bitcoin. Not at the moment. And just check it out and see what it does over the next, so a couple months or so. So that's my take on it. And I'm sure there's a lot more detail and a lot more things to talk about, but I think this is pretty good. Who knows? Maybe I'll do another one if this one does pretty well, if it sparks a good amount of debate. So we'll see. But regardless, silver and gold are the slow and steady. Crypto will be the fast up and down. And just be careful. Do not get burned, guys. Seriously, it's a lot of money we're talking. 1 year, it went down $15,000. So seriously, just really, really pay attention and see what it does over the next couple months, at least the next couple of months. All right? So I will talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this podcast and my rambling. I know there's good info in there, and I hope I gave you a little bit of peace of mind if you were thinking about crypto. And also, I hope I stopped you from making a mistake if you're letting your emotions get the better of you. So I will talk to you later. Start the debate in the comments. Please, guys, that are into cryptos and have good information, share it with everybody. This is an educational channel. And I will talk to you guys later.